Dune is here. Let's talk getting started, beginner's guide for all you guys getting started in Dune if this is your first time or you just kind of want to chum up on some things, maybe some things you missed. Let's talk right about what you're hit with right after you make your character. It's going to be this research menu. They're asking, do you want your menu completely unlocked so you can have options of crafting whatever you want? Or do you want a guided version, which is going to kind of stair step you through the process as you level up and as new areas open up for you, what you can craft? If it's your first time and you didn't play Dune in any of the betas or anything like that, go with locked. If you kind of know what you're doing and from previous playtests, go unlocked advanced, you know what it is, and get active out there. The next thing you're going to have to do is answer a series of questions from the Reverend Mother. Now, these questions will include things like your home world, your cast, all sorts of other kind of stuff that you will have to pick from and choose wisely because all of these options do and will affect the dialogue in the game. There will be certain times where you will be able to use the influence of your home world or your cast or some sort of other thing that affects your social trait. So that definitely does play into it. And think ahead. Think of the game style you want to have and the kind of sleeper you want to be out there in Dune Awakening when you're making these choices. So now we have gotten through that beginning portion, and here your typical intro, right? You're going to pick up your backpack. It's going to show you how to move around. It's going to tell you things about the dew and the moisture and how that works. You're going to get those simple things down that the game will teach you, so I don't even need to cover that. But what I will say is pay close attention to the medkit portion. This is how you're going to heal yourself. Do take good note of how that system works, the fibers you need, the plants you get it from, so that you can make sure you keep health kits because you will take damage, I'm quite sure, off the rip, and this will help you along. One of the first tools you get that I love a lot in the game, which is a lot really fun, is the Cutteray. The Cutteray is going to be, there's several different versions of it. You start out with a basic one, and this is going to allow you to mine rocks and get your normal, your starting or your copper ore and copper stuff that you're going to need to craft in the game. Once you've made it through the intro process and most of everything, you're going to need to find a base, a place of operations, and a place to be. I highly recommend picking a place that is not on the open sand. I repeat, do not do it. You will have the worm eat your base and all your stuff will go bye-bye. So be very careful with where you pick. Up close against mountains or rocks is your safest option. The game offers a really cool system of letting you to put up these holographic images of where you're going to be building so you can kind of see your build ahead of time and then hold left click to actually build what you want. Once you have all that done, then you would go inside of your base, and the few things I would say you want to do immediately, I would say, is build a generator. It's going to kind of prompt you, walk you through, tell you to do it. But the reason you want to build a generator is because in Dune there are sandstorms, and in these sandstorms you want to make sure you have a shield. The generator provides that shield, so that is going to be your main source of base protection. Is making sure you keep that shield powered with power cells, and you're going to loot those in POIs throughout the game. And speaking of looting and moving throughout the game to POIs, you are going to deal with Sandworm threat. This is something you need to pay close attention to. The meter on your screen will show you how much noise you're making, and when it turns red, that means the worm is aggroed on you and you need to get to safety, up to a rock cliff, somewhere away from open sand. Be very careful. If the worm eats you, all gear on you is lost. So be very careful with what you bring with you, especially when you're going to be traversing across the sand on foot. Now, to combat that, you will need to craft things at a fabricator. The fabricator will be where you will craft most of your advanced stuff. While you do have a menu you can craft in straight from your menu, this pulls from your base resources and from your storages. So this is where you're going to be crafting most of your advanced gear, like your Stillsuit. The Stillsuit will be really good for you starting out. It's going to allow you to manage your moisture without having to drink so much dew from the plants because your body will be producing moisture for you to click on and just drink straight from the suit, just like in the books as well in the films, using your own body to create moisture and to recycle it and give yourself moisture. Controlling your moisture and refining materials are going to be your two top priorities in Dune. You're going to want to gather, you're going to want to refine. Building a refinery is a great way for you to be able to refine things into copper ingots, which you'll need for crafting. You also have iron and steel later in the game that you will be acquiring for more advanced gear. Storage management will also be something you will have to tackle within this game. You can build several of these storages, as well as you can build several different refineries, fabricators, however you like. Just know all the resources are pulled from the storages when you're using things like the fabricator. So that means if you want to craft something from your menu on your character and not at the fabricator, those materials have to be in your possession and in your inventory. That's why the fabricator is so clutch, because you can just dump everything in storage and craft straight from there. At some point, you will get to this part in your story where you will be building your bike for the very first time. This is done by you fabricating the pieces and then going and assembling them on the floor wherever you want to, out in the sand or inside your base. And once that process is completed, you will have a full functioning bike and it will be ready for you to then drive. Do remember that it does require fuel in the form of energy cells that you will have to acquire either through looting, or you can craft using the power cells that you pick up to actually fuel the bike and give it power. When out in the open world and when you kill an enemy, you will have the option to be able to harvest the blood. The blood will only be harvestable as long as you have blood sacks on you to be able to grab the blood, and you have the tool available for you to be able to withdraw the blood. As long as you have those on you and crafted, you will be able to extract blood to then take back to your base to turn into moisture. The conversion time is pretty quick. Each bag holds about 4,000 ml. Each kill gives you about 1,000 ml. So however many bags you want to carry, I recommend about 2 to 3, maybe 4 if you want to get a little bit more moisture. So you can keep this full and always have the main source of hydration in your base from the actual blood purifier. The last tip I'll give you is craft the additional seat for the sand bike. It's going to be great early on to help other people, maybe other clan members, get to POIs or get around easier if you're a little bit ahead of them. And it's also good picking up stranded players. Say Sandworm got their bike got blown up. It's always good to have. The great thing is all the attachments for the bike you can actually store on your person, or you can actually store in the storage on the back of it and swap them out as needed in the field, as long as you're carrying the appropriate tools with you to do so. So this pretty much covers everything in a nutshell. I just wanted to give you guys enough to be dangerous and enough to get you guys started in Dune. I won't spoil too much of it, but I just really wanted to help players kind of understand the basis and get out there and get active. If you do have any questions or want to have any sort of discussion about anything here, you can catch me live on twitch.tv/babyfnelson. Thank you so much for watching, and you have a good one. I'm out.